on the social media, whether it is Facebook or whether it is a LinkedIn. LinkedIn anyway, minute I'm able to just connect and say, we have opening, are you interested? But how many times, he had an interaction, or he normally has an interaction on, offline with the feed, on the Facebook or on, let's say, Twitter. How many times he follows that person, and check whether this candidate is going to be a probable candidate that we are looking for or not. So what we have observed in my organization is that, my recruiters are doing that, and, in fact, that's a very good sign. And in fact, I have told my team members that this is a very good approach, not only to attract candidates, but also to maintain a very good healthy relationship with. Fine, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but not to not to oversee that that tomorrow this candidate may not join, but yes, he may give you another 2-3 references. It is very, very important. So recruiter knowing the importance of social media, and not only using it for the work purpose, but also going beyond and connecting with the candidate, because tomorrow you never know how these candidates may be possibly available for your future requirements.
So I think even with social media, I think there are two versions to it. Version one is the typical creation of the career page and people following you and all of that. I think there's a version 2 to it as well, which is basically creating an interactive awareness through the use of social media, which basically translate to a couple of things that some organizations have started doing. For example, creating hackathons, hack days, or for that matter, organizing tech talks, or initiatives like app development. You give them an open API and let them develop apps, and that's a way of attracting the right kind of talent, and also making sure that they go through a part of the assessment during the event itself.
Correct.
So which enables the recruitment process at multiple levels, not just the fact that you're being able to brand your organization through the social media, also attract the right kind of audience. 3, you basically take them through part of the recruitment process during the event. So I think that's where the social media is now heading, in my opinion.
So that's interesting. That's version 3 then. You spoke about sourcing, you spoke about branding, and it brings us to version 3, which is assessment on social media. Is that something that your organization is working on? Are you using external tools to assess prospective candidates, especially in these talent communities that I come back to that, in the talent communities that you mentioned? Would you assess future candidates on the social media?
See, the challenge is this. I know social media has opened up a different discussion in our organization. Somebody rightly said is, the traditional way of recruitment is you have a job description which invariably is a cut-based job. It does not really talk about the kind of behavioral competencies that you want. Our intention at this point of time is, can we really go back to the so-called business and hiring manager and tell you, what the hell do you really want of this guy? That's where we're coming to. And to a certain extent, we've really come to some kind of an understanding that these are the 4 or 5 traits that I want of this particular role. If that translates into so-called job specification, I think the recruiter is in a better position to know that. That's one part of it. The second part of it is, if he knows that 1, 2, 3 things I'm going to look for, it becomes much more easier when I'm talking to somebody either on what they call as the LFT brigade, your LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. There's a good chance that you might stumble into 1 or 4 traits that you would want. But the challenge is that scientifically proved? Do we really have assessment tools which will really tell that this is what the behavior is that you want? Okay, it'll only help you in the screening process, but it does not really go away from the fact that the tried and tested model of having a one-to-one interview does not go away. You still need to have that one person.
That definitely will be there. Nobody can take that away.
Correct.
Human interaction has to be there for employees. So we are not robots. We are not. So I think this what Abhishek said is absolutely right. So what's happening is, Abhishek, it's not only the guys completing let's say a test or a quiz or whatever. Let's say for example there is a coding contest. It's not only that he has come on top in the coding contest, but the techies or the guys who are wanting to hire him would also get to know what has been his approach cracking that process.
Absolutely.
So that is the important thing, which you don't get to see in the resume.
You're filtering probably from thousands of candidates. You're filtering it down to a few.
Absolutely, and at times I've seen those sessions. Even if you're not able to actually solve the problem, if your approach has been really, really innovative, you still end up going and talking to those people. And I think Sajeev brings in a very, very interesting point in terms of being able to screen people not just based on technology but behavioral traits as well.
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of organizations, and I think if I can quote, Amazon has this concept called as bar raisers, and they do only behavioral interviewing assessment. Now, bringing it back to or relating it back to social media, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult one because although you have a lot of access to information that one would put, on a Facebook or a Twitter, or maybe I go and like a page which is basically a little radical, or I write a comment which is not, I mean, my ex-employer has started saying stuff. So, but I think somewhere it also has a flip side to it, which is that I would probably be able to say, okay, this person has this habit of bad-mouthing his previous employers, but at the same time, the flip side to it is that I also have access to a lot of other information which would amount to discrimination at some point. I get to know this person's food habits, or let's say that not amount to it, or let's say his marital status, or veteran status, or disability. And those are, if you are an equal opportunity provider, there is nowhere you even ask for that information, or for marital status for that matter. And, it's not happened till date, but at some point it might happen that if you use those criteria that you evaluate the candidate based on your finding on social media, then, you restrict, you decide whether to pursue him or not. That might lead to further legal complications, which would probably also mean, when you talk typically about transparency between an employer and prospective employee, that what was the basis of rejection? It probably was, let's say, the fact that he was a part of a group which is not very, yeah, absolutely. But again, what was the reason for rejection is something that would probably amount to litigation at some point in time.
So, just to understand from Saji, when we are talking about behavioral traits and talking about social media to assess those, a common thing that I've seen is it's essentially being used for a rejection tool, and what the person is trying to sift out is the negatives. Yes. So, at least these are the two examples that are coming out is
not really.
The recruiter is when they're assessing through these channels, the LFT, they're trying to look at the negatives.
No,
if that's the approach, and if that is the one, then
see, if you specifically talk about behavioral interviewing, I think it's.
I'm talking about behavioral from a social media.
Correct. So you're talking about the assessment of behavioral traits from a social media platform.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's kind of a little difficult to do that, because if you try and evaluate one competency, if in a face-to-face interview, 45 minutes is actually less to cover that competency, because if you follow the STAR methodology or whatever you do, it's actually very little time. And for you to be able to assess a behavioral trait based on few likes or dislikes that I've put on Facebook, I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
Very difficult.
I think I'm going to go back to what I started off earlier about the target group, because ultimately what it comes down to is when we're talking about behaviors, here actually at KPIT we actually look at a particular group which is say 6-7 years plus experience, and we don't really care about the skill, because by that point of time you're a project manager, you're a project leader, so how much of Java or how much of coding you've done, fine, you've been there, you've done that. But I think what's more important is this person the right cultural fit for my company? And I think there is, for want of a better word, I would say that there is an animal which is right for KPIT and there is one which is not the right animal for KPIT. So we would actually like to look at, this is the DNA of that person, and this guy is the right DNA for us. He has the right value system, he has the right interest and the right background to work for us. And those kind of things can come out when you look at such profiles on a social platform. Because in the resume, like you said, there are a lot of skills put in, but I think the way the person behaves on a social media will bring out the rest of the DNA. So I think that's where the assessment comes in. I don't think any of the assessment of technical skills at all comes through a social platform. But I think what does comes out is the other things, which I might not even call it soft skills, like you don't need to see his leadership or anything, but you also get to see what is the DNA of that guy, what are the people he's connected with, what are the kind of people who are recommending him, what are the kind of people who have spoken what about him. That gives a lot of subtle messages, and I think that is what is more important, especially because
this kind of social media hiring is done for a more senior people. It's not really done for junior people. For the 0 to 6, 7 years, it's mass sourcing. And that's right, Amrita rightly said, we would prefer to go for referrals because those are people whom you can believe. You hope you can believe. So once on any other platform, you can't really believe.
So are there any positive traits that you would be looking at when you are looking at it?
Also, I'm wondering then, does that mean that the recruiter is looking at the candidate's larger social profile and not just their, their professional profiles? Are you looking at
who are you connected to?
started
Who
with-
else do you know? I mean, you might even find that you are
Who's
connected to
really
other
your,
people.
connection
Things
list,
like that.
basically,
Yeah.
Or is there an
And those
edging?
things can't lie. So.
But again,
I think I have a fairly
this is-
different point of view here. I think for a recruiter to be able to, considering every job profile, every level would have a different set of behavioral competencies to be assessed. If I have an individual contributor at a director level, I would not, I'd probably be assessed on ability to think big or ability to push back or work with cross-functional teams. But team management would not necessarily be a competency to me. So every individual who's assessed has a different set of behavioral competencies that needs to be assessed on. And that would depend on the level and the job function of that role. And somewhere I also disagree that the entry level hiring is typically done with our vanilla tools like the portals or job posting. I think I have seen a lot of Facebook campaigns being run for all those walk-in drives or events that you do, and they've been fairly successful. And I'd like to hear more if anybody has experienced that. But you tend to use, for example, mobile recruiting, which is probably the next version of the social media platform. You tend to use the social media platform itself. And if you talk about it, those 0 to 5 years or 3 years experience, if you conduct a walk-in drive today, I think they are far more successful than you putting up a job posting on a Naukri or a Monster or a Times.
The way I see it is, doing so much of recruitment, so volume-based hiring, niche hiring, and then like we have different kinds of profiles, like we have a DISC profile, we have an MBTI, different assessments, right? And now we have this new system where maybe there is an evolving standard as to how this person's behavior can be assessed by the way he behaves on the social media. And there is an engine that we build to say, like we say, is the A-type personality, B-type personality, and somebody would do it for us. And along with the social media profile, there is an assessment which says this organization has assessed him based on his social media, the way he has behaved, and he's A candidate or a B-type candidate.
Some kind of
So then, yeah, it could probably be indicative this thing for us to take it up from there. But imagine, you do 500 plus hires every year, and then you say you get into 20 number of profiles you want to see.
So it's a wish list, okay? It
No, I'm saying it could be a.
So I tell you what, the way it works is that you have to do it for your organization.
No,
That's the way it
correct.
works.
So
Yeah, but then, I know Monster is tying up with one of the social media, and they have got this app called Be Known, right? Now, what Be Known is attempting to do is in similar way what my friend, Subramani is talking about, right? Is there a way that I can get a resume which even has a trail of that assessment, which says he is A class or a B class or a C class? I think that's really good, is really being of major help to me, right? I mean, I don't have the money, nor do I have the time to go through the assessment too. But if I have an application that goes through these various traits and gives me a resume saying that here is a guy who's assertive or whatever the competency that you want, I think it's at least a step forward to that.
I mean, if you look at
I think this will be a
profiling
step-
tools.
Correct.
The profiling
forward
tools
to this
does
psychometric
not
test that we are
necessarily
talking
mean
about.
it is this.
So I think I've been meeting a lot of times guys, and you guys have been coming up with this psychometric kind of
Behavior.